Government to send a protest note to Kenya over the maize ban. We have the report in our bulletin today. Welcome to TV Africa News. Hope you had a beautiful day. This is Africa Today. My name is Nahaba Kajura, but first are the headlines. Government to send protest note to Kenya over the maize ban. Women to use internet in networking and financial management. Farmers in Kenya are harvesting locust swarms for animal feed. And in our sports today, Zambia expressed interest to host under-17 African tournament. Let's have the news in detail. Government has protested the ban imposed on Ugandan maize by Kenya that has left tons of grain stuck at the border, with traders registering heavy losses. Let's have the details.
The Minister for Trade, Industry and Cooperatives, Amelia Chambade, while speaking after an interministerial meeting attended by Ministers of Agriculture, Finance and Foreign Affairs, said that the ban is being implemented on rumors with no scientific explanations to back up their claims. The Kenyan government, through the Department of Agriculture and Food Authority, banned the importation of maize from Uganda and Tanzania, saying the cereal had aflatoxins. According to the minister, neither her ministry nor that of East Africa Community Affairs received official communication from Kenya regarding the ban. The meeting also resolved to pursue dialogue to address the ban. TV Africa News, Kachancho Mtabazi reporting.
Well, thank you so much, our reporter. Now, Uganda Investment Authority has encouraged women to use technology while carrying out their business transactions during the COVID-19 pandemic. We have the report. While commemorating the International Women's Day at Kamocha in Kampala, Uganda Investment Authority, in partnership with Opportunity Bank and African Women Entrepreneurship Program, Uganda Chapter, held a conversation focusing on the intersection among business, leadership, innovation and technology in the COVID and post-COVID era. Babram Tabazi, the Executive Director, Hive Collab, advised women to use internet and create business networks that will help them overcome challenges of financial crisis.
So let's say you have a smartphone. Most people use their phones to just go on Facebook and jazz and read stories. Like you can spend 5 hours on Facebook just reading things on Mama Tendo and I don't know what. Yet, you could use the same time on your phone to create a business brand without it costing you more than just airtime. So maybe Facebook, I don't know whether they've opened Facebook yet, but WhatsApp is open. How do you use the people that you have with it? Do they even know what you do? Like let's say you're in a group of OGs and you all just talk about normal things, but no one in that group knows what you do as a woman. That's where we fail to utilize the informal networks that we have. So technology plays a really big part in helping you take your business from one level to the next level. It provides information. A lot of the information that I get about my business comes from the networks that I'm part of.
Ms. Alice Lajo said that the training program will help women who face difficulties in accessing financial help to process and acquire loans easily.
Every woman. We all aspire to a life of dignity, we all aspire to a life of purpose. It could be a micro woman who does not own land, who does not own the crops in the farm, who does not own anything, or even when the fathers are giving land or giving inheritances, they don't own it. We are looking at that kind of woman at the grassroots. We are looking at the woman who is already somewhere, along the financial ladders. Maybe she owns her business and she can manage herself. She owns her land, she owns collateral. We are also looking at women who have possibly already even gone to a point of we even want to export. We are big in business, we want to make more money. So we are looking at every woman at all the different levels. We are here to support.
Pamela Abonyo, the marketing manager of Opportunity Bank, encouraged women to always seek advice and continue learning using modern technology so as to transform from traditional to modern trends of managing financial services. It is Africa Today. Well, moving on, the Katikkiro of Buganda, Charles Peter Maiga, has asked newly elected leaders in Lubaga Division to protect the property of Buganda Kingdom, since most of it is located in this same division. Let's take a look at the report.
The announcement by the Katikiro was made during a visit at Bulange Mengo by the newly elected councillors led by Mayor-elect Mberaze Maula Zaki at the Kingdom headquarters in Bulange Mengo, Kampala. The delegation was welcomed by the Katikiro of Buganda, Charles Peter Maiga, and promised to work with Buganda Kingdom to develop Lubaga Division and Buganda as a kingdom.
Tukole wamu tubeere n'enkolagana ennungi ennungamu empeereza ennungi mu ggomba ly'e Lubaga nga tulondeddwa nga twalondeddwa ze meya elect wano ne bakansala bano okweba nga tulina empeereza ennungi eri eggomba lyaffe nga tukoleramu neki ne Mengo.
Katikiro Maiga has appealed to the elected leaders to ensure good hygiene around the kingdom's property and put street lights on the roads that lead to the palace and other properties of the kingdom. He appealed to the delegation to fulfill the 5 aspirational objectives of the kingdom and defend the culture and heritage of the kingdom, which the newly elected councillors obliged to fulfill.
Obuvunaanyizibwa obulala okulaba ng'enguudo ezigenda mu bifo bino ziri mu mbeera nnungi. Singa mulaba oluguudo olwetooloola olubiri oba lwe bayita ring road, kati nkitegedde leero nti ekitundu ekimu kiri Makindye, ekitundu ekirala kiri Lubaga. Ekifo ekikulu ng'olubiri lw'e Mengo lwakubwa mu 1885 okuba nti oluguudo olwetoolodde olubiri binnya byereere. Oluguudo olugenda ku lubiri lwa Mujaguzo e Kabowa bw'ova wano ewa Ddiniya, ndowooza bwe bayite ewa Ddiniya awo si weewo, n'ogenda awo n'oluguudo lufu. Obuvunaanyizibwa obulala okulaba nti okwetoloola ebifo ebyo wayonjebwa.
Nalugo Muyingo, Africa Today.
Well, thank you so much, our reporter Nalugo. Now, let's go for a quick break. We shall come back with our international news. Welcome back from the break. Now, in our international news today, swarms of desert locusts are threatening Kenyan farmers and have descended on Kenyan tea plantations and are destroying every leaf in sight. Let's have the report.
East Africa is suffering from its worst locust outbreak in 70 years. Farmers in Kenya who have been sitting back helplessly and watch as the insects devour their crops have developed mechanisms to fight them back, especially when the darkness falls. Through a company called Bag Picture, farmers now, by use of torchlight, have started to harvest them by picking them from the trees without the insects flying away. Swarms of locusts can travel up to 150 kilometers during the day, so the key to this nighttime harvest is keeping track of their movements until the sun sets. Laura Stamford, founder of Big Picture, says turning them into animal feed is one solution to the surging swarms that have been plaguing the Horn of Africa recently.
Normally they set off at around 10 a.m. in the morning, so we start following them as they move on. So by around 5 p.m. to 7 p.m., that's when the time they want to roast. So once they roast, we mobilize communities around those areas to harvest them overnight, because that is when it's most appropriate to harvest locusts. It's at night when they actually sleepy, they have little energy to move.
Unusual weather patterns have provided the perfect conditions for locust numbers to boom. Now farmers have resorted to using the locust swarms for animal feeds in Kenya. For TV Africa, Najuma Luima reporting.
Well, thank you so much, Najuma, for the report. Now, Libya's parliament voted Wednesday to approve a unity government to lead the North African nation to December elections, a key step towards revolving a decade of chaos and violence. Let's have the report.
Oil-rich Libya descended into conflict after President Muammar Gaddafi was toppled and killed in a US NATO-backed uprising in 2011, resulting in multiple forces vying for power. After 2 days of intense debate in the central city of Sirte, Parliament approved the Ibas cabinet with 121 of the 132 lawmakers present voting in support, according to his spokesperson. The interim government must now tackle the many grievances of Libyans, from direct economic crisis and soaring unemployment to crippling inflation and wretched public services. Libya has been split between the UN-recognized government of National Accord, based in the capital Tripoli and backed by Turkey, and an administration in the east supported by military strongman Khalifa Haftar, with the backing of the United Arab Emirates, Egypt, and Russia. Katende Chabasinga reporting.
Well, thank you so much, our reporter Katende. Now, a police officer, Tha Peng, has said that he fled across the Myanmar border into India after refusing to carry out the orders of the military to shoot at protesters after seizing power in a coup last month. We have the report.
The Peng, a police lance corporal, said that he refused to shoot at protesters with his submachine gun to disperse them in Myanmar town of Hampat on February 27th, when he was ordered to do so. On March 1st, after resigning from office, the 27-year-old left his home and family behind in Hampat and traveled for 3 days, mostly at night, to avoid detection before crossing into India's northeastern Mizoram state. Myanmar's military junta, which staged a coup on February 1st and dispersed the country's civilian government, refused to respond to Peng's comments, but has said it is acting with utmost restraint in handling what it has described as demonstrations by riotous protesters, whom it accuses of attacking police and harming national security and stability. Nalgo Muyingo, Africa Today.
Thank you so much, our reporter. Now you're still watching Africa Today. Hundreds of healthcare workers from both public and private sectors took to the streets to protest poor working conditions after 6 different unions called for a strike on Wednesday in Barcelona, Spain. We have the report.
The doctor said that coronavirus pandemic has only highlighted precarious contracts for overworked and underpaid jobs, including those in hospitals, ambulances, nursing homes, home care, and others in the health care sector. Due to the mandatory minimum services, the Catalan Department of Health estimated that only 1% of healthcare workers had joined the strike in the morning, but other protests and strikes were called in other cities of the Catalonia region in northeastern Spain. Some hospital workers in Catalonia have been holding weekly 1-hour strikes since last year to draw attention to their demands, including higher salaries. For TV Africa, Najuma Luima reporting.
Thank you so much, our reporter Najuma. Now, Greek police has said that an officer received serious head injuries as clashes broke out on Tuesday evening at a protest of some 5,000 people in Athens against police violence. We have more.
More than 5,000 people marched through the densely populated residential area of Nea Simrin with banners calling upon cops to get out of their neighborhoods. The police later fired tear gas to disperse groups of masked protesters who broke away from the march and hurled petroleum bombs, rocks, and other objects at them, setting garbage containers alight. As clashes continued through the evening, at least 3 people were hurt and 10 arrests were made, according to police. Many protests turned violent in Greece, which is emerging from a decade-long financial crisis. TV Africa News, Kachanchu Mtabazi reporting.
You're still watching Africa Today. Let's go for a quick break. We shall come back with the business news. Welcome back for the break. You're still watching TV Africa, the right to know. And in our business news today, Libya's Prime Minister designate on Tuesday expressed support for the maritime agreement signed between Turkey and the former UN-backed government based in Tripoli, saying it serves the country's economic interests. We have more.
Abdul Hamid said that under the deal with Turkey, Libya has acquired a good share of the gas field that it did not possess, adding that Parliament is the one that will approve it. Deiba noted he couldn't say anything about the country's security agreements with Turkey, leaving decisions about those to parliamentarians. Deiba's government, which replaces two rival administrations, one based in the country's east and another in the west, that have been ruling Libya for years, was approved by 132 lawmakers on Wednesday. Oil-rich Libya was plunged into chaos after a 2011 US NATO-backed uprising toppled and killed longtime leader Muammar Gaddafi. The country has been divided between two governments, one in the east and another in the west, each backed by a vast array of militias as well as foreign powers. Nalgo Muyingo, Africa Today.
Thank you so much, our reporter. Now, away from business, in our health news today, the Minister of Health has come out and asked the public to disregard what it calls manipulated videos on the COVID-19 vaccination launch event that took place yesterday, the 10th of March 2021. According to the document released, Emmanuel Ainebiona, the Ministry of Health spokesperson today, some unscrupulous individuals embarked on creating deepfake videos and circulating them online with an intention of discrediting the COVID-19 vaccination exercise in the country. The Minister of Health, Dr. Ruth Aceng, was the first Ugandan to take COVID-19 vaccine jab in broad daylight and is currently in good health, according to the ministry. A total of 310 persons received their COVID-19 vaccination jabs at the launch event, with Mulago recording 280 and 30 at Entebbe Regional Referral Hospital. According to Ainebiona, the Ministry of Health social media pages, including Twitter and YouTube, have the videos that are a true reflection of the national vaccination launch that happened at Mulago Specialized Women and Neonatal Hospital and Entebbe Regional Referral Hospital. Thank you so much, our reporter. Now, in our sports news today, the Football Association in Zambia has expressed interest to host the 2021 Africa Under-17 Cup of Nations that was recently cancelled by CAF due to COVID-19 pandemic. Let's have the report.
The CAF Emergency Committee that sat on Monday took a decision to cancel the 2021 edition, which was slated to take place in Morocco from 13th to 31st of March 2021. However, the prevailing circumstances in Morocco, where the local government issued stringent measures in a bid to curb the spread of COVID-19, deemed into unfit to have the tournament played. It should be noted that authorities in Morocco last week suspended all flights to and from several countries such as Italy and Belgium. At the time of cancelling the tournament, already 4 nations had reached Morocco, and these include Zambia, Ivory Coast, Senegal, and Uganda. It's upon this background that FAZA has officially written to CAF seeking to host the tournament. There are also unconfirmed reports that CAF was planning to reach out to Tanzania to host the same tournament. Katende Chabasinga reporting.
Well, thank you so much, our reporter Katende. Now, before we end our bulletin, let's take a look at the top stories. Government to send protest note to Kenya over the maize ban. women to use internet in networking and financial management. Farmers in Kenya are harvesting locust swarms for animal feed. And in our sports today, Zambia expressed interest to host under-17 African tournament. We shall keep updating you. It is still TV Africa, the bright to know.
This is Africa, and that was the news.